here doing my thing. What the fuck is you doing though?
Peace, peace, peace. People out there on the blue planets. What's up to all the fellow melaninites out there? And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. This is official Illuminati. You know, if you like what you hear, or if you want to add on in the comment sections. I'm about building with true science, not just history, but true chemical science, because black people are chemical and we hella dope. L-dopa, tyrosine synthesization, and I'm gonna go into that. We're gonna talk about a little bit of tyrosine in conjunction with melanin, okay? Let's go into it. I wrote some notes so I can stay on point with my people. Okay. This is also I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I'm going to explore the differences of black people and white people. Okay. And I'm going to say black people right now, because I'm talking about the pigment melanin, okay? Melas, the Greek word melas, and melanin means dark or black. Melas is also connected to the word more, okay? But melanin, now dig this, people, melanin is produced by oxidation. So I'm a tackle Chuck Morgan's question on this Nuwaupianism site. Okay, so it says, ask the Nuwaupians, was it green skin or black skin? Okay, so he found this in the Holy Tablets, chapter 2, tablet 1, verse 3. So basically, he's saying the original beings on the planet had green skin. We became brown. Okay, how do we become brown? Okay, so it says the magnesium molecule was lost from the melanin. Okay, so I doubt that Chuck Morgan probably started there. Okay, so what I would have started with is the magnesium molecule being lost in the melanin. Okay, so what is melanin, right? So you'll probably see this on my Facebook page or my infamous Newbie King site. This is what I rock, okay? Can you see that? CHON+P, okay? This is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, plus phosphorus. When you put the phosphorus on it, you're going into DNA, okay? So CON, or CHON, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen is melanin. It's melanin. I got it right as I talk, so, okay. So it says the magnesium molecule was lost from the melanin, all right? So we see that magnesium is not in melanin. Also, iron isn't in melanin, in that chemical formula that I gave you, CHON. Okay, so you got to do more research on that, okay? Because now when you're dealing with magnesium and iron, you're talking about in additions, and you got to find where these additions are coming from. Okay, so let's proceed with the rest of the verse. Okay, it says, it was then that iron took its place. When you mixed iron with water and oxygen, it rusts. Okay, that's a key factor. The rusting color is your brown skin tone, because now it is no longer magnesium that is dominant, but the iron when mixed with water and oxygen, both elements essential to your life. Okay, so oxidation. What is oxidation? Okay, oxidation basically means a compound of oxygen with, or this is an oxide, an oxidation. Oxide means compound of oxygen with another element. Okay, so the ide in oxide and oxidation makes it an acid. Okay, so which rides along with the pigment melanin. All right, so I'm gonna pause this right quick because in my notes I've left out where the iron is coming in at. So I'm gonna come back in a minute. Let me find that. All right, Raz Baba Castle Bachi Ray is back. Okay, so we're gonna go into magnesium. Okay, it says the magnesium was lost and the iron was replaced. Okay, now in order to really get into this question, we're gonna have to get into some chemistry. What's biochemistry? Yeah, and things of that nature to really answer this question. So what I'll say about that question is, okay, Dr. York was on something pretty deep, okay? And Chuck Morgan can't even answer the question himself. Some of these questions that Chuck Morgan has presented for other Nuwaupians to answer, in a sense, still need Doc to give clues to what he was really talking about, because he didn't give you a lot. He gave you something to play with in order to deal with what he was talking about. But if you're not familiar with biochemistry and chemistry, then you're not going to understand what he was talking about. So I'm not really hella versed in biochemistry and chemistry, but I'll give you a little bit on what I came up with to tackle the question. Okay, and maybe it could be taken a little bit further to go into what Dr. Malachi Z. York was saying. Okay, first of all, he said that all of this started about 17,250,000 years ago. Okay, the beings on this planet. Okay, he said Nuwaupu was on this planet and the beings was in this planet. Okay, so first of all, you got to deal with that time. Okay, so when we dealing with the primates on this planet, okay, when we're dealing with the primates on this planet, because we come from the primate lineage, okay, you're dealing with earth walkers breathing air. So in that chemical formula, right, okay, you're going to be dealing with oxygen and carbon. All right. In the water, a vessel or a being would be dealing with oxygen and hydrogen. Okay, these are two different things. Okay, these would be two different beings. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, one on the surface, one in the water. Why is talking about the beings in the water important? Okay, if you go back into the history creation story of Heliopolis or Anu, then what you have there is Nun, Atum, and the Ogdoad. Okay, So Nun means abyss. All right, watery, deep, things of that nature. Okay. Some people says it just means space. Okay, that could be one aspect, but as above, so below. So we're gonna have to deal with the water aspect as well. There was water on this planet, hot lava, hot moisture and all that before anything. Okay, so, and Doc said that ether is hydrocarbonic. And I said earlier that dealing with the waters, you're dealing with oxygen and hydrogen, okay, which are oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon. On the surface, you'll be dealing with oxygen and carbon, hydrogen as well, but the mix would be different, okay? So hydrocarbon, so we're talking about water, all right? So we're talking about Nun, okay? So let's go into magnesium, because the magnesium was lost to the iron, okay? Boom. I gotta find one more thing. I gotta find a little breakdown on iron. I got the magnesium. Let me get the breakdown on iron. I'll be back, okay, to further clear this up. Boom, okay. So this is, let's rehash, okay? Magnesium being lost to iron, okay? So I haven't broke down magnesium yet because I said I was going to go get the breakdown for iron. Okay, so let's look at iron. Iron plays an important role in biology, forming complexes with molecular oxygen and hemoglobin and myoglobin. Okay, these two compounds are common oxygen transport proteins in vertebrates. Okay, so right there also, the iron is distributed throughout the body in hemoglobin, tissues, muscles, bone marrow, blood proteins, enzymes, ferritin, hemosiderin, and transport in plasma. Okay, let's go down. Okay, so here iron has a lot to do with breathing. Okay, if we're dealing with blood, okay, we're dealing with breathing, okay, and we're also dealing with spirit, okay, dealing with cellular respiration and oxidation and reduction in plants and animals. Boom. Okay, so it says we rusted the oxidization right there, and what it's saying about the iron is causing the rusting, because if we're going into the blood, what are we going into? Melanin. Okay, we're going into the skin. All right, so let's go to magnesium. All right, magnesium would be abundant in the seawater, like Nun. Okay, he broke it down in the Sumerian aspect as well. I forgot what he called them, the original four creative beings on the planet, like the Odoad. I go back and find it, but anyway, magnesium is the 9th most abundant element. Okay, produced by aging stars, 8th most abundant on Earth, 4th most common after iron, oxygen, and silicon. Okay, 13% of Earth's mass, 3rd most abundant element in seawater. Okay, so if we're going 17,250,000 years ago, all right, and it's recorded that the primate biped being walking on this planet goes back, let's say, 10 million, 20 million, no? Do I have a 300 record in there? Let's just say 20 million. Let's just say it's not 17 million, 250,000 years ago. So if I say 20 million, Boom, coming right back. All right, not 20 million years ago. Homo sapien, at most 3 million years ago. Okay, Homo sapiens sapien, anatomically modern humans emerged about 200,000 years ago in East Africa. Okay, so Dr. York said, and Afro Unu said 18 million years ago. Okay, so are we dealing with the genus Homo? Are we dealing with Homo sapiens sapien? We couldn't be dealing with that. So here's really the question. Where does the time frame come from? Okay. Where was that introduced at? And it's not introduced into modern science books. Okay. They can't be talking about anything that's related to Homo. Anything that's walking on this planet. You understand what I'm saying? You can't be dealing with that. So I think what I'm getting at and where I'm going with this is that Chuck Morgan, for trying to put this question up here, he should have tried to at least tackle it, and he didn't. And I know he can't come behind what I splashed on it, so I'm gonna say that this question is debunked, okay? Because Dr. York said that 9-ether is hydrocarbonic. Hydrocarbonic is dealing with the waters, okay? He said that we came out of the waters, so magnesium, and then out of the waters, breathing, blood changing, different animal, different brain chemical compositions and formulas and all of that shit reacting and happening, you know what I'm saying? And then the iron came in, which caused this, okay? Where'd this come from? If we originally had fur on the planet, okay? Fur on the planet. Before nappy hair, fur. What was under the fur? Goddamn green looking skin. Maybe some palish looking fucking skin or whatever. You know, this is a whole different type of chemical. So you gotta understand melanin. Melanin, there's 3 forms of melanin. Neuromelanin. Okay, so when we're dealing with neuromelanin, you're dealing with catecholinergic cells, okay? These cells are neurotransmitters, okay? They transmit messages in the brain. They're highly expressed and found in the substantia nigra, or nigra, or however you want to pronounce that, which basically means black substance, okay? Melis, black, all right? That's a Latin term, and it's found in the basal ganglia or the midbrain, okay? Now, when you're starting to deal with the substantia nigra and these catecholamines, okay, you start dealing with dopamine, all right? And when you're dealing with dopamine, you're also dealing with epinephrine, okay, which is adrenaline, and norepinephrine, or norepinephrine, which is noradrenaline. I guess that's noradrenaline. I don't know. Aside from that, you're also dealing with the endocannabinoid system. So when you're dealing with tyrosine synthesization and melanin, okay, this is connecting to what you see as the TH and THC. So the L-dopa or dopamine is dope. You understand what I'm saying? It's weed. You know what I'm saying? In the melanin. It's cannabis in the melanin. Cannabis is just a different form. Okay, but it's a cannabinoid. All right, so the dopamine deals in function with eye movement, so there's melanin in the eye. Just how the eye functions in general, it takes in electromagnetic radiation, okay? There has to be melanin in the eye. It deals with movement, dopamine, so you notice when someone gets drunk or they get high, they lose movement and things of that nature. Some people, you know, some people can control it better than others, but motor planning, okay? Reward seeking, learning, and addiction. So with that, tyrosine, which is one of the 20 amino acids that help synthesize protein, that has a lot to do with melanin, because melanin is the oxidation of tyrosine, okay? You see why they put drugs in the hood. You see why black kids and girls don't feel like going to school or don't want to go to school. You understand what I'm saying? Because their dopamine in our neighborhoods and in our houses, the dopamine is always turned up by entertainment, media, music, you know what I'm saying? The words in the music, things of that nature. You know, this is all riding in your melanin, all right? Reward seeking, we want to quit. Learning, we only want to learn how to get it quick. And addiction, we addicted to that lifestyle. This is dopamine, and this is how they playing us because we are already chemical dope. You know what I mean? Eumelanin. Eumelanin is any people with dark black purple skin to light brown skin. All right, so there's two different types of eumelanin, which is black and brown. Okay, so a small amount of black eumelanin in the absence of other pigments creates gray hair. Okay, small amounts of brown eumelanin in the absence of other pigments creates blonde hair. So you see right there that white people come chemically from black people. Okay. Now, whatever the primate was before it lost fur, you can't say that's a black person or a white person. You can't say that. You know what I'm saying? But you can say black people came after this primate. Black skin was first for millions and millions of years. And then we must have got tired or whatever. The atmosphere changed. You know, the environment changed, the animals changed, maybe their blood composition changed. This is all dealing with the atmosphere. Dr. Malachi Z. York said the atmosphere changed as well. He said the axis changed from 23.5 degree to 19.5 degree. Go research it. The axis did tilt and it's still tilting. You understand what I'm saying? Whether it's tilting back into its original form or not, this movement is there. All right. So eumelanin is very important, and that's the beginning prime pigment on this planet. All right, eumelanin is anything with brown color, black color, getting into your greens and your reds, and well, red is a part of their spectrum, so we'll get into their spectrum, which is pheomelanin. Okay, that's pink and red hue pigment. The concentration is in lips, nipples, glands of the penis, and the vagina. So you see why they're sexual minded, okay? But here's another deep thing about pheomelanin, okay? When tyrosine is synthesizing into melanin, okay, it's becoming L-cysteine, okay? In that process, this process called DHICA, it's a big scientific word, is what happens to create melanin, biosynthesize melanin. What happens with white people is they don't create this DHICA process, they create benzene, basically, through their melanin process, which makes them the hue they are, white people. Okay, but here's the tripped out thing about benzene, which is also a hydrocarbon. Okay, when you smell gasoline, you're smelling benzene. Okay, it's a human carcinogen. Did you hear that? It's a human carcinogen, which means it's cancer causing. Okay, so melanin protects you from UV radiation. Synthesizes electromagnetism, okay, through the process of tyrosine which makes melanin. Okay, the process of that in white people creates cancer. That's deep, okay? Peep it. So white people couldn't have been on the planet for a long time. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't have been on the planet with the same God. God couldn't have created the black people and the white people and the Chinese man and the Arab man and the green man and the yellow man at one time. You know who God is? Natural growth on this damn planet. In our brain first, melanin. You understand what I'm saying? That's how we are 9 ether. And really how we 9 ether, because I would say way back in the day, our babies was definitely coming 9 months and they babies was coming 6 months. Right now, our babies is coming out premature 6 months, 7 months, and they grinding for them first breaths. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not eating right. We're not thinking right. We're listening to this music. We're moving too fast, but back to the point. Okay. Magnesium is essential to all cells and 300 enzymes. Magnesium interacts with ATP, DNA, and RNA, and you can find DNA, ATP, RNA in the motherfucking water, because that's where it came from. You dig what I'm saying? The DNA was in the water before it was anywhere on this motherfucking planet. So Chuck fucking Morgan, did I just debunk and fuck up your question, my nigga? If I didn't, please holler at me. There's much more to this, but I was just giving a little breakdown. Okay, synapses, you know, go back. Pheomelanin, white people. Eumelanin, black people. Okay, neuromelanin, dark pigment. Catecholamines, okay? You're going into hormones, dopamine, endocannabinoid system, the nervous system, you know what I'm saying? That's why brothers always been smoking cannabis, because it's like a goddamn plant cousin. You understand what I'm saying? That's how we always say dope. L-dopa, epinephrine, adrenaline. You understand? That's why they put epinephrine. What I say? Epinephrine. 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 What I say? Epinephrine. Whatever. Okay. And norepinephrine. Okay. Science words, man. We should have just made that shit easy. You know what I'm saying? That's strength, and then that's weakness. Whatever. Okay. So that's all in our systems. When you're dealing with these catecholamines, these neurotransmitters that are dealing with dopamine, which is dealing with the substantia nigra in the midbrain. Go and research this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what these niggas is not telling y'all. Like, they trying to break down shit and sound all deep, and I keep asking them, you know what I'm saying? How are we related to the sun? How are we related to the earth? How are we related to the waters? Why are babies in water for 9 months? Because we was in water in the seas before we became human beings. That we still black people. You understand what I'm saying? Melanin is started with this planet. Melanin is in the sun if you go check it out. So what do you say? We came from 9 ether beings on this planet. Gross on this planet. Now, Chuck Morgan and none of y'all dumb niggas are scientists. Y'all don't work for NASA, and y'all not looking at no fucking telescopes, and y'all not doing none of that shit. So let me ask you a question. How the fuck do you know that Dr. Malachi Z. York may or may not come from a different planet? Did he say he himself in the form that he's in came from that different planet? No, he didn't. Okay, he said a being incarnated in him. Is that possible? Hell motherfucking yes. Okay, then you have to prove the Bible, you have to prove the Torah, you have to prove the Quran, you have to prove the Bhagavad Gita, the Numa Elish, the Atra Hasis. You understand what I'm saying? All the Kemetic books, back to Heliopolis, Thebes, and Memphis, all the way down to Zimbabwe, to the Dogon tribe, all the way to the dumbass Europeans and the Greeks and the Latins and the Phoenicians that copied that shit. You'd have to prove them wrong, okay? So you're trying to be ignorant and make other people ignorant. And you know what I'm saying? You don't want them to think for themselves or give respect where respect is due, because Dr. Malachi Z. York gave information Whether it was right or if it was wrong, that was up to you to go look at it. So you put this question up here, but you didn't prove if it was right or if it's wrong. So based on what I just gave you, you know what I'm saying, what he said is correct. Now, I would like you to come back behind what I said and prove me wrong, bucko. 999 Nuwaupu. If I choose to deal with another question, I just might. There's one.